Hello students, I am here with another video from a new chapter of class 7th from your NCERT book, that is Motion and Time. Now before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that which topics are to be covered in this chapter. So the topics which are to be covered in this chapter are: first I'll introduce you with the topic that what is the meaning of the word motion and time. Then we will study about the different types of motion. After that, a topic which will be discussed is it will be the distance. Then after that we are going to see the topic of the speed, then distance time graph and the odometer. So these are the topics to be covered in this chapter. So as usual, we can just form a link between these topics by seeing or by studying this mind map. So I move on to the mind map for this chapter. It says that, see, it's a very big mind map, but it's very clear enough to see what is the connection between the topics which I just now told, that which are to be covered in this chapter. So if we see that this motion and time, this is having four main topics. That is, we have to discuss about the types of motion or what is the concept of motion. After that, we'll discuss about the distance and time, as if we are not going to discuss this because this motion is always dependent upon time and distance. So these are the two main topics which will be discussed in this chapter. And next we will see about measuring the time, measuring the speed, measuring the displacement, measuring the distance, as also measuring the different other ways by which ancient and the modern people were seeing the time. After that, we will move on to a topic which will be independent, and that will be about the time, how to measure it and what is its unit. And then we will see about the speed also, as it is as it is just related with the topic of motion. Okay, so as you could see that two names are mentioned in this chapter. So the first name is the motion and the second name is the time. Now in motion, we are going to see that whether the motion is slow, fast, okay, what type of the ways it is moving, and we will compare all these things related to the motion with the two other words, that is distance and the speed. So in distance, we are going to see the graph. Then we will see the whether the object is moving in a uniform motion or non-uniform motion. Okay, and then we are going to see about the types, the way by which it has to move, means like the object when it is moving with a constant speed, or is it moving in the accelerated speed, or any other. Some more points are to be discussed when we are seeing the lesson. Okay, next what we will see will be the measuring of, and yes, we will also see the graph which is related with the motion. I mean distance time graph, speed distance graph, so many different types of graphs are there. And then that could also be helpful in finding out the types of motion by using the lines, okay, straight line graph. Next we will see about the measurement of the speed, how it is going to be done. So the instrument which is used to measure the speed will be odometer, speedometer. So we will discuss these two instruments also. Then distance, how much distance is to be covered and how much distance is covered, which will be calculated by using some formula. Okay, then after that displacement also we will be seeing, and then distance upon the speed, how to calculate the time, how to calculate the displacement, how to calculate the distance and speed. So these many topics are to be covered in a very in the small topic of measurement of the motion, or the time, the things, the terms which are related with the motion. And lastly, we are going to discuss about the speed also, and that speed we will see with the help of the formula. We will see that whether it is the uniform motion, non-uniform motion, what is its unit, and what about the object or the basic unit which will be expressed. Okay, next we will see that the time will be measured by using two ways. It could be modern time devices or modern measurements of the time, as well as we will see about the ancient measurement, how the time was being done, the way how the time was seen at that time, we will see in this chapter. Okay, so with this, and yes, while one more thing which will be discussed is this motion shown by the pendulum, simple pendulum, that will be discussed in details. Okay, so this was all about the mind map of this chapter. As you could see that all these topics are interrelated with each other, and if we are not going to see this interrelation, then that becomes a difficult part, how the things are running and how the things are being connected. So this mind map is the easiest thing to explain that how is this going on. Okay, now I move on to the next slide, which is the first slide of this chapter, as I'm introducing this chapter to you all. So as you see the word motion, what do you think if the word motion I say, or what is the first word or the situation which is coming or striking in your mind as you listen the word motion? So what motion says that the car is moving, students are walking, or the ball is moving. So motion is equal to the movement. Okay, we just think that when we are talking about motion, we always feel that we are talking about movement. And how can you say that the thing is moving? We can say that the thing is moving because of the changing of the position. Position means that whether the object was placed, once it was placed here, after some time it changes its place and moves to the next part, means it has reached the next point. For example, if it is point A and this is point B, the first point, if the car was present at point A and after some time it has changed its position and it has reached to point B. So by changing position, we can say that the object is moving. And secondly, to make it a proof, make it a very precise, or it should make, if we make this motion in a very correct manner, if you want to say, then we need to add one more quantity, that is time. For example, at 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. this body was here, and at 6 a.m. the body and 6 a.m. it reached here at point B. So we will say that the object has changed its position with respect to time. If we relate to this with the time, then it becomes appropriate. Means we can say that yes, the object is moving. Why it is moving? Because it has changed its place first of all, and that change in the place was done with respect to time. Okay, so please remember that motion is a change of an object with respect to time, change of a position of an object with respect to time. Okay, once suppose that if you come to school, then if you're coming walking or you're coming by riding bicycle, then what happens? You take a reference with the time, means you take 10 minutes from 10 minutes to reach your school. If it takes 10 minutes to reach your school, then what happens? You feel that yes, now I can move from my home, and it is the 10 minutes I'll take to change my position to reach from my home to school. So what is the main important point I want to discuss here is that if we consider that the thing is moving, that means it is changing its position, and that change in the position is with respect to time. Okay, next is, if the position of a body is not changing with time, then the body is said to be as at rest. It is motionless or immobile or stationary. So all these words are the synonyms for rest, as rest means it is just the opposite of the word motion. The thing is moving in motion and the thing stops in, then the body is at rest. Okay, so if the body is at rest, it is said to be that it is in motionless, it is immobile or stationary. So it's very important to understand that these two words are always used in a very means you could say it is interrelated. How it is related? For example, the thing is said to be in motion and rest at the same time. If it is moving with respect to the changing time, it means it is in motion, and if it has stopped, it means that it is motionless, or it is immobile, or it is stationary. Fine. Now any moving object is said to be in motion, and yes, so this is what I wanted to say, that any body which is in moving position is always said to be in motion. Okay, whether it is slow, fast, or very fast, or with respect to time, we are going to calculate this afterwards when I'll tell you the formulas and how to calculate it. Okay, so this is about the concept of motion, where you could see that the object is in movement and it is changing its position with respect to time. Okay, so now there are different types of motion which are to be discussed. Now what are the types of motion? So the different types of motion which can be discussed in this chapter are, I mean, these types of motion we have already seen in class 6th. Okay, so it could be, it is not uniform, it is non-uniform motion, rectilinear motion, okay, curvilinear motion, circular motion, rotational and oscillatory. So we are going to see that in this chapter we will always we are going to see that we are discussing about the uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, see, the objects are moving, the car is moving, the vehicle is moving, this time is also moving, the needles of the watches clock is moving. Okay, so we could describe the way by which an object is moving, and according to that we can classify the types of motion into various ways or into various forms, like rectilinear in a straight line, okay, curvilinear in a curved line, or when the object is in circular motion, it means it is moving in a circular motion. Curved means like this, and circular means it is moving in a circle. Rotational motion means it is moving on an axis. Okay, for example, fan. Oscillatory motion means the object is moving to and fro. For example, clock, the pendulum of the clock. So here we will discuss the different types of motion, and that will be related to the change in the position with respect to time, and based upon the way by which this movement is moving on, this movement is going on from an object, then if the object is moving from one position to another position, but the object is moving in a straight line, it becomes rectilinear motion. If the object is moving in a curved pathway, then it is known as curvilinear motion. Change in position is happening and it is also taking place with respect to time, but still in the way by which an object is moving will also describe it, it is going to give the name of the type of motion which is performed by that particular object. If the object is moving in a straight line, it means that it is in rectilinear motion. If it is moving in a curved line, in a curved pathway, it is known as curvilinear motion. Now if we think that if the object is moving in circle, it is known as circular motion. Okay, if we talk about the object which is rotating on an axis, this is known as rotational motion. Okay, and then after that we will discuss about oscillatory motion. Now what are the examples of these types of motion? Oscillatory motion, the example of oscillatory motion is the pendulum. Okay, it is the pendulum. Fine. Next is the rotational motion. It is shown by the fan. Then circular motion is also shown by the fan, or you could say that one stone is being tied in the thread and you're just rotating it, so it becomes circular motion. Okay, or if a circular pathway is there and the object is moving around this, so this is known as circular motion. Or the blades of the fan, which is showing the circular motion as well as the rotational motion. Okay, your earth rotates, earth also is changing its position, and that also is known as the rotational motion. Next, what is curvilinear motion? Curvilinear motion means it is movement, it is going to move in a curved pathway. Okay, next, rectilinear means in a straight line. If a straight road is there and the car is moving on it, it means it is moving in a rectilinear motion. Next is the random motion, that is known as it is not fixed from a point. Sometimes it is coming back, sometimes it is not. In other words, you could say that these two words are the chatting means these are the words which you could say that it is always related with the type of or the car which is moving, or the object which is moving, and it is moving with the type of the motion which could be one of these types which I am discussing here. Okay, next is that we will see the motion is always related with something reference, with some reference. Okay, what kind of reference is that? I mean, what kind of reference we are talking about, or what is the meaning of the word reference first? Reference means you are relating the things. Okay, you're relating the things. How you are relating the things? Or if you want to describe if you want to describe your the distance or the landmarks which is coming in the way from your home to school. So you will say that if I move from home to school, I see this after means if someone's house is there which is painted red in color or yellow in color, so you say that a house of yellow color, it is a big house which comes on the way when I am moving from my home to the school. Or when I am moving from home to school, there is one milestone on it which is written half a kilometer or something. We take reference about when we are moving. So what is that reference? Reference means it is the comparison point. For example, if you have to draw the line, if I have drawn the line A and B, if it's drawn, now if I say you measure it, what are you going to take? Are you going to take, you're just saying that, you'll just say that it is 3 centimeters long. No, how can you say that it is 3 centimeters long? So you will take a reference point, you will take a reference object, you will take one scale and you will put here and you will measure that how much the distance is from A to B. So it is going to give you an appropriate answer. Why? Because 0 will be coincided with A and 3 centimeters will be coinciding with B. So you can say that the object is having this line is 3 centimeters long. How can you say? You have used one reference. So the thing is that when I say whenever the object is moving, we give the answer in the form of reference. Okay, and what is that reference? Reference could be your time, reference could be an object when it is moving, it could be when the things which are coming on the way, then those things could be in reference. Okay, when a person is standing outside the bus is considered as reference, and the bus is in motion. When the person is sitting inside the bus, it is considered as reference and the bus appears to be stationary. Okay, so this is the point. This is known as frame of reference. When you are sitting in a bus, then you are considered as reference and the bus is in motion. Okay, now once you are sitting inside a bus and it is considered as reference and the bus appears to be stationary. If you are sitting inside a bus, then what happens? Once you are sitting outside, then the object which is present inside the bus will be set in motion. And if the object is moving, it is considered as a reference and the bus stands, but bus appears to be stationary. Okay, so this is very means you could say that this is an important thing where we could understand that what is the frame of reference here. Okay, so reference means you are just taking a comparison point and you are comparing your original object, you are comparing the motion of original object. Okay, so this was about the frame of reference. Now I move on to the next slide that shows you the first type of motion, that is oscillatory motion. Okay, now what is this oscillatory motion or oscillation? Oscillatory motion is a motion which is also known as a periodic motion. Why it is called a periodic motion? Is because that the pendulum is moving from one position to another position and again it is coming back to its original position. So the object which are coming back in their original form, or when the object is moving in such a way that once it is crossing the point and again after some time, after regular interval, it is crossing again the B point at the same time. So this is known as a periodic motion, or it is also known as oscillatory motion. Now every object which is moving in to and fro direction, whenever the object is moving in to and fro direction, it means that it is in oscillatory motion, or it is all simply we can say it is in oscillation, to and fro. Please remember these two words. It's very important to understand what is the meaning of the word oscillation or what is the meaning of the word oscillatory motion. So oscillatory motion means it is when the object is moving in to and fro direction. To and fro means it is just means it is crossing it is crossing the same points at the same interval. So this is known as the to and fro motion. Okay, so this becomes oscillatory motion. And if you say in the language of science, so an oscillatory motion is a motion where the body moves from two extreme positions. Now what is this extreme position, first I must say, and what is the next part will be the center of the extreme position is called mean position. Okay, now if you need to give the example of oscillatory motion or the object which are moving to and fro, what examples you are going to give? The very first example which will strike in your mind will be this pendulum. Okay, so simple pendulum has the structure that it is being tied from a support. Okay, you can say this is support and this is string, and the last is the bob, the metallic ball which is there, which is known as bob. Now the string is moving from here. Okay, so this labeling is given in your book also, you can just label it that, and it looks like that in the picture which is given here on the screen. So what happens, the pendulum is moving from its mean position. Mean means from where it is starting, from this position. The object is here. Now it starts moving, it moves till C, it moves till A. Again it comes back to its position, it moves till A. Okay, so again it is coming back to its position. Now you can say that what is the meaning of the word, the extreme positions and the mean. You could say this, that mean position is this B, from where the motion oscillation is starting. And then what about the two extreme points? So the string till where it could be stretched, the last point till where it could be stretched, and it reaches to a distance that is known as the extreme position. So here the mean position is B, the two extreme position is this C and A. Now if the object is showing such to and fro motion, this is said to be in oscillation, or it is showing oscillatory motion. For example, if a boy is sitting or a girl is sitting on a swing and the swing is moving from the same point, so from where you are starting the swing, that becomes your mean position, and the other two position which is at the extreme point is known as the oscillatory motion, or the extreme points they are known as. Okay, now extreme and mean position I think everybody has understood. So this B is the mean position, and the two C and A are the extreme position. Now I think everybody has understood this, that what is the meaning of the word this mean and extreme position. Okay, next we will see that and the complete time from where it is starting and where it is ending, means it has started from this mean position, it will end at this mean position. Okay, so that will the time which is taken to okay, so first I must explain what is the meaning of the word oscillation. Okay, what is the meaning of this word oscillation? Oscillation means, or you could say, what is the meaning of the word one oscillation, or how will you define one oscillation? Fine, I have just now said that to and fro movement is known as oscillatory motion. Okay, now how will you define one oscillation? We can define one oscillation in a very simple manner, that an object is starting from B, it is moving towards the extreme position, coming back to its mean position. Okay, now next time what will happen, again it is just standing there for a fraction of second, and it starts moving towards the next extreme position, which will be A, and it is again coming back to its mean position. Now this is known as the one oscillation. One oscillation means an object starting from its mean position, moving towards extreme position, coming back to its mean position, again going back to another extreme position, coming back to its position, that is known as one oscillation. Just remember this definition, that when it is covering both the points, both the extreme position, then only it is said to be in one motion. So the object is said to be in oscillation when it is starting the motion in to and fro manner, where it has to cover the mean as well as both the extreme position in one time. This is known as one oscillation. Okay, now how much time, whatever time it is taken to complete this one oscillation, is known as a time period. Okay, now this one oscillation here concept has to be cleared enough, otherwise you will face some problem afterwards when you will be not understanding the numericals, or which I'll explain that further. Okay, so these are the features of oscillatory motion. You will see that mean position is there, time period is there, periodic motion is there. So why this is called a periodic motion? This is known as periodic motion just because that oscillatory motion repeats itself. It repeats itself. Okay, once it is moving from one position, again it is coming back to its same position. So this is known as periodic motion. And one oscillation means it is it is going to start from mean position, it is covering one of its extreme position, coming back to mean position, and again going back to another mean position, and coming back to the original position. Till here it is known as one oscillation. Okay, so this is known as periodic motion, or this is an example of periodic motion. Then periodic motion could not be oscillatory. All periodic motions are not oscillatory motion. Okay, but all oscillatory motion are periodic motion. Yes, this is very true statement, and everybody should understand this last part. What does it say? It says that all periodic motion could not be oscillatory. Now if you say that only to and fro type of motion is said to be in oscillatory motion, or it is also known as oscillatory motion. So all oscillatory motion are periodic motion. Why? Because it is covering the same distance at the same interval of time, and it is also covering the same thing when it is moving or you could say that it takes some time to complete the same position again and again. It comes and goes from that particular position again and again. This is known as the oscillatory motion. Okay, and if you can give more examples about oscillatory motion, you can also include them. For example, a child or someone is swinging on the swing. Okay, that also you can see that a person is coming to its position again and again, and that is known as oscillation or one oscillation. You could also get disturbed when the object is moving means you will always see that distance is there. Okay, you are seeing the distance is covering, which is being covered, will be same after some time interval, so it becomes the periodic motion. Okay, it becomes the periodic motion. That is what is saying that all oscillatory motions are periodic in nature, because it has to move from that position for becoming oscillatory motion. But if all periodic motion could not be oscillatory. Why? Sometimes what happens, an object is coming and going from the position, but it is not covering at the equal time. It will come after some days. It is not fixed. Okay, it is not fixed. This is known as the periodic motion is oscillatory, but all oscillation motion are the periodic motion. Okay, so I move on to the next slide. There are certain more points which I need to explain this. Okay, so what all features which are related with this topic, that is oscillatory motion or the simple pendulum, is that when a simple pendulum has a metallic bob which is attached to a thread that supports one end rigidly. So how can you define this simple pendulum? The simple pendulum has a bob which is a metallic bob. Okay, which is a metallic bob, and it is attached to a thread that is supporting rigidity at one end. It is tied from the support, and then at the end it has a metallic bob. This is how you can define the simple pendulum. Now there are certain words which are related with the oscillatory motion or with the bob. Okay, motion of a simple pendulum, to and fro motion, and it's about rest position A. Some important terms to simple pendulum is that oscillation. How is oscillation going on? What is amplitude, time period, and frequency? So these are the four important words which are always related with the oscillatory motion whenever we are studying about oscillatory motion. Okay. So these are the important words which is related with the topic of oscillatory motion. Now, what are these words? One is oscillation. That is one object is moving from the single point again and again in the equal interval of time. It is known as one oscillation. When the pendulum completes one to and fro motion, and it is said to be one oscillation. Okay, it starts from A, goes to one extreme position, coming back to mean position, going to another extreme position, coming back to the mean position. This is known as one oscillation. Okay. Next, what is amplitude? Now, amplitude means if you are going to stretch the bob from its central position till it's one of its extreme position. Okay, that will be the maximum stretched position of this bob. Okay, so this is known as amplitude. For example, if an object you are stretching from A to B, either from A to B or on A to C, from A to C, then it is known as amplitude. Okay. Next thing is that what is time period? This I have told you. Time period means the complete time which is required for completing one oscillation, one to and fro movement. Now, what is frequency? Frequency means it is the number of oscillation completed by the bob in 1 second. So what is frequency? Frequency means when bob is moving to and fro, and how many times it is moving to and fro in 1 minute, in 1 second. That is known as frequency. So the bob which is moving in oscillations in 1 second is known as the frequency. So children, that was all about this periodic motion, or you could say oscillatory motion. I'll discuss about more types of motion in the next class. So that is all for today's video, children. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topics to be discussed. That's all for today.